Now look, today we're diving into one of the most shocking and controversial prison stories of 2025. Ian Watkins, the former frontman of the rock band Lostprophets, was unalived in one of UK's most secured prisons. Now, this is a man whose crimes made international headlines years ago, and for many people, hearing that he's gone brought up some really complicated emotions. And as wild as it sounds, this story isn't just about karma. It's about how something like this could even happen in one of the toughest prisons in Britain. Look, y'all sit back and relax and stay until the end of this episode because we about to dive right in. Welcome back to another episode of Eyes Low, Belly Full. As y'all know, this marks episode 171. Now, for anyone who doesn't remember, Ian Watkins rose to fame in the early 2000s as the lead singer for the rock band Lostprophets. I mean, they had hits, tours, and a massive fan base, but that entire image collapsed when he was sentenced to 29 years in prison for horrific child-related offenses. And the details of his crimes were so disturbing that most media outlets couldn't even fully report them. And he became one of the most hated prisoners in the UK almost overnight. And he was sent to HMP Wakefield, a Category A prison nicknamed Monster Mansion, home of some of the country's most dangerous offenders. And even in a place like that, Watkins stood out. Not for fame anymore, but how despised he was. Now, fast forward to October 11th, 2025. Reports say prison staff responded to an incident just before 10 a.m. inside HMP Wakefield. Watkins had been attacked, poked up multiple times, and despite emergency efforts, he was pronounced unalived at the scene.
Ian Watkins lost his life earlier this morning after a prisoner took justice into their own hands, and I want people to understand how serious what happened here truly is. If you don't know who he is, he was in a band called the Lostprophets in the early 2000s. In 2004, Ian started to essay and groom his underage fans. In 2007, he started to bring them home. There was a 16-year-old girl, and he found out that she had no experience, and that excited him so much that he decided that night that he was going to take that from her. When he was done, he urinated on her and told her to drink it. I mean, it's hard to imagine that it could get any worse, but it does. Following this, he would brag to people about doing things to 12 and 14-year-old girls, but he would disguise it as a joke so that people wouldn't take it seriously. When he did have adult partners, he would get off on telling them things he wanted to do or did do to children, and again, it's a joke. He ends up starting to date a woman named Joanne, and he tells Joanne about what he was doing to underage children, and so she went to the police station and reported him that night. The police thought that she was a crazy ex or a psycho fan, and they closed the case immediately, and Ian knew that she had filed that report, and that just confirmed to him that he could do whatever he wanted. Because the police closed the case and because Ian was gaslighting her, she thought, maybe I am just being overdramatic about this. So 2 weeks later, he reels her back in, and this time almost immediately, he shows her a video of a baby being essayed. He then showed her other photos of babies in the same way, and she knew that she had to take that evidence from his devices and take it to police. So she does that, and the police refuse to even look at it. So at this point, she doesn't know what to do. She writes Ian's mother a letter explaining everything she's seen, everything that's been said, and his mother not only ignores Joanne, but reported her to police for stalking and harassment. They actually ended up bringing Joanne in for questioning and threatened to charge her if she did not stop. Joanne was absolutely devastated knowing that children and babies were being harmed and she could not let it go. And so she decided to pretend to be back with him in order to collect as much as she possibly could so that she could not be ignored. So in 2011, she reaches back out to Ian pretending to be interested, and almost immediately he sends her a video of a baby with himself. And instead of responding in the absolute disgust that she felt for Ian, she played along. So that led Ian to trust her, and he continued to send her things. And so she decides to email the chief of police, who also ignores her. And then it gets worse. she finds out that Ian is doing things to a baby, a 10-month-old baby, with the mother's help. She figures out who that mother is. She contacts the father of that child. The father never responds. In 2012, Joanne and Ian have a Skype call where Ian admits everything. She records that call, tries to take it to the police, and again, they don't care. It took another 6 months after that before police took it seriously and went and got all of Ian's electronics. When they did, his password was F-word, KID with a Z. Apparently, Ian was very tech savvy and he had 27 terabytes of data of things that he was doing and things he obtained. It was said that he filmed basically every encounter that he had. And this man said that he was innocent up until he finally decided to plead guilty. So it's also revealed that at least 2 mothers were doing things with Ian and their children. I honestly do not recommend that anyone read the things that they were saying and what they were doing.
Now, police arrested 2 inmates, aged 25 and 43, on suspicion of the unaliving. I mean, the prison immediately went into lockdown while investigators moved in. Now, this isn't the first time he's been targeted. Back in 2023, Watkins was taken hostage for several hours by other inmates in a separate incident. You know, he survived that one, but clearly his safety inside that facility was always in question. And it's crazy because HMP Wakefield is supposed to be one of the most secured prisons in the UK. So the question is, how did another inmate even get close enough to attack someone under that level of surveillance? I mean, when you mix high profile offenders with the reputation like Watkins, that makes him a walking target. Shit, and rightfully so. Some people see this as inevitable justice, but others see this as a massive system failure that's supposed to keep everyone safe. You know, even the worst of the worst. At the end of the day, Ian Watkins' death marks the end of one of the darkest chapters in British music history. He destroyed lives, betrayed fans, and became a symbol of pure corruption in the industry. Now, I want to hear what y'all think about this situation. Do y'all believe monsters should still be protected behind bars or punished by any means? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And if this video resonated with you, go ahead and hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up and also subscribe and hit that bell notification for more episodes. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.